Imagine you just walking into a room, and as soon as you start speaking, everybody just assumes that you are a leader. That is executive presence. Hi, my name is Mohit Jagwani, and if you're someone that wants to command more respect, you want to be respected as a leader, as a colleague, or as just someone that is a part of a corporate team, or you want to present yourself as a leader, right? You want to be considered as someone that has the potential to lead, and you want to climb the corporate ladder. If any of this resonates with you, then this is the video for you. Now, that being said, what is executive presence? Well, as you can see, it is a combination of qualities that enable a person to inspire confidence and respect in their leadership ability. Okay, okay, these are big words, but what do they even mean? What does it even mean? So here's the thing, right? Whenever you're going in front of an audience and you're public speaking, or you're giving a presentation, or whether it's a one-on-one interaction, or you're recording a video, as soon as people see that, they should feel that, okay, yes, he's a leader. He has the ability to lead, he has the ability to inspire people. That is executive presence. Now, that being said, who am I to even talk about executive presence? What have I done? Well, to tell you a little bit more about myself, as you already know, my name is Mohit Jagwani, and I'm one of India's top speakers. And I coach business leaders along the lines of, so business leaders like CXOs, founders, business owners, and their teams. I coach all of them along the lines of public speaking, presentation mastery, strategic networking, executive presence. So that's what I do. I have more than 7 years of experience in the realm of public speaking, and I've won various accolades as a speaker, and I have coached a lot of business teams and business leaders. That being said, sure, you understand what is executive presence, you know who I am. Let's talk about why is executive presence even important. First and foremost, people assume that you are a leader. For example, as soon as you enter, you are at the foundational level of your corporate journey. And if you already have a very strong executive presence, then what happens is that you get a lot more opportunities, and you'll see that further. People assume that you're a leader, that you have leadership capabilities. So that helps you tremendously in moving forward. Okay, so that's number one. Number two, you're taken much more seriously. Every word that comes out of your mouth now, because you have executive presence, is taken significantly more seriously. Finally, more opportunities come your way simply because people assume, based on the way you communicate, based on the power that you have in terms of presenting yourself, people want to give you more opportunities because they believe you are capable of handling those opportunities. Okay, and lastly, it is easier to convince clients and stakeholders, whether it's sales, or whether it's a big company that you're giving a presentation to, or your manager, your leader, whoever it is that you're trying to convince into anything. If you have executive presence, people take you much more seriously, and it becomes easier for you to convince them. Okay, so that is why executive presence matters. What are the 3 C's of executive presence? Number one, confidence. Confidence is, I'll be honest, if you are truly confident, you have that confident energy, you basically have a cheat code for life. Life becomes significantly more easy if you just have that confidence within you. Now, what is confidence, and what are the things you require in order to have that confidence within you? Well, 2 things. Number one is acceptance. Okay, acceptance. And what I mean by acceptance is that, for example, if you have a presentation to give, you first, in order to be confident internally, you first need to accept the worst case scenario. Worst case scenario is the mic stops working, the teleprompter stops working, things are not going your way, right? And it's terrible. That is the worst case scenario, and you just accept it. Accept that, okay, you know what, even if that happens, I'm going to be just fine, I'm going to stay alive, and my life will go on. Okay, now once that settles in, you'll have inner peace, and you'll have inner satisfaction that's going to help you perform better. Okay, so that's number one, acceptance. And number two is repetition. Now, what is repetition? For example, if you have a presentation to give, you need to practice it. If you do not practice it, guess what? It's going to come out in a way that's not super clear, that's not super refined, and it's going to have a lot of gaps in it. And as a result, externally, you are not going to appear confident. So, internal confidence, you feeling confident internally, comes from acceptance. And the external confidence that people are going to feel comes from repetition and practice. Both of these are important for you to be able to feel and present yourself as someone that has a very strong executive presence. Okay, so that's the first C, confidence. Second thing is clarity, right? As soon as you start speaking, people should know that this guy knows or this girl knows what he or she is talking about. When that happens, people trust you. People have confidence in you when they know that yes, you are absolutely clear, you're absolutely confident about whatever you're saying. Now, how does clarity come, and how can you show that you're a person that has a lot of clarity? Well, simple. Number one is structure. For example, the mind map that you're seeing right now in front of you over here, right? If you see, this is structured, this is well structured. Okay, and because of that, there is clarity in this. If this these were if it was not this structured, there were just words in front of you, no numberings, nothing, then you probably might not find it as structured and it might not be as clear. Okay, so number one is structure. Number two is composure. Now, okay, let me elaborate further upon the structure part. For example, as soon as, let's say, if you have five things to say, as soon as before you say that, start saying those five things, you let people know. So there are five things I want to talk about. Okay, and then you mention those five things. For example, today I'll be talking about, so there are one, two, three, four, five, six, seven things. So I could say this in a way. For example, so today I'll be talking about, let's say, if you're someone that is XYZ, I'll be talking about what is executive presence, I'll be talking about who I am, why does executive presence even matter, three. So I can go about it this way, or I can go in a way that begins like, okay, so I have seven things that I'm going to cover today. Number one is, if you're who you are, and why should you even watch this presentation, this video, right? What is executive presence? That is the second thing. Thirdly, who am I and why do you need to hear this from me? Fourthly, why does executive presence even matter? So this is an example. Okay, so as soon as you do this, you attach auditory and visual cues. Auditory cues in terms of, for example, fourth thing, right? Fifth thing, this is auditory cues. Visual cues is you adding numbers in terms of your fingers, right? Or body language, through your body language conveying that, okay, this, we are at the next point. So that is visual cues. So you structure your presentation, your conversation in this manner, that there are visual and auditory cues to whatever you're saying. Okay, secondly, composure. Now let's say if I have a lot of cues, but I'm not composed. Okay, I'm not composed, I'm speaking in a way that's very rushed, and it's not making as much sense, then you don't appear clear. Now, to elaborate upon this further, you need to understand what are the different tools that we possess as speakers, as communicators. Well, number one is volume, right? So, volume is how loud or how softly I speak. Volume conveys energy, right? Now, when it comes to executive presence, your energy shouldn't be super high, neither should it be super low. There is a specific range. It can be medium high to medium low. This is the executive presence range. Okay, you don't observe people in corporate scenarios screaming very loudly. That is what motivational speakers do. But people that are in corporate scenarios, in terms of executive presence, they don't speak super loudly. They can go high, medium high, or they can go medium low. Okay, so that is what you need to keep in mind. Second thing is space. Space is always, not always, pace is control, right? So for example, if you're not in control of your pace, you appear that you're not in control in general. If you're too fast, people assume that you're rushed or you're nervous. If you're too slow, people can kind of fall asleep, right? What you need to do is be medium slow, not super slow, medium slow. And not all the time though. For example, if when there are instances in which you do not want to add as much emphasis, you can speak in a tone that's slightly faster. It's okay, you can rush those things, those segments, just by a little bit. Whenever you want to emphasize upon something, speak in a slow and controlled manner. For example, the way I did right now. Okay, now there was nothing important as such in this segment. I just wanted to emphasize upon the importance of you speaking slowly. So as soon as you start speaking in a controlled and slow manner, people assume that that part is more important. Okay, so that's space. And finally, expression is a expressions basically comprise of your face and your body, right? So have neutral or positive expressions, and in terms of your body language, have an open body language. For example, if in terms of your body language, this is me being closed off, this is a closed off body language, and this is open confident body language. Know that there is this sphere of you could, some people call this, so some people call this the golden sphere between your eyes and above your belt, right? Or or the sphere of confidence, right? So there are multiple names to this. And when your hands are in this sphere, you're confident, correct? And if they're out of this sphere, for example, if your hands are above, so over here, right, this appears a little bit weird, right? Weird. This is fine. Weird, right? A little weird for corporate presence, for corporate scenarios especially, but this is fine. Okay, this is fine. And once it goes below this, again, it starts to become a little weird. So that's something that you need to keep in mind. So it's both face and body. And finally, the third C is control. Okay, so when it comes to control, again, you need to keep two things in mind. Number one is responsiveness instead of reactiveness. What does this mean? For example, if you're having a conversation and that person asks you a question, a reactive way would be, so to answer your question, what I'm trying to say is that you need to keep XYZ things in mind. Okay, now if you observe, I was not composed. I just started speaking as soon as I got the opportunity, and I have no control over my pace. That's reactive. But as soon as someone asks me a question, whether it's in during a presentation or in a one-on-one scenario, for example, the manager or my leader or the CEO asks me, why are the sales for the previous month so low? And what I can say, the reason they're low is because previous month there were a lot of holidays and people were on vacations. As a result, we were not able to reach out to them. We were not able to schedule as many meetings, which affected our sales. But don't worry, sir. In the next month or in this month, we're going to cover up for the losses that we've made, and we're going to be back on track in no time. So, end on a positive note. Okay, so that is how you explain things in a calm and composed manner. Okay, so that's responsiveness instead of reactiveness. And number two, voice control. Okay, so voice control in terms of pace. Have a strong, very strong control on your pacing. Don't sound too rushed. Okay, so that's control. These are the three C's of executive presence, right? Confidence, clarity, and control. Moving forward, some real world examples to help you understand this further. So, Steve Jobs' iPhone presentation.
This is a day I've been looking forward to for 2.5 years.
If you observe his hands, they are in the sphere of confidence or the golden sphere. Right? They're not high, they're not low, they're over here. Okay? So that indicates his presence of mind.
Every once in a while,
Right? Every once in a while, he's creating that space, he's showcasing himself as someone that's confident. And even when he begins with happiness by saying that I've been waiting for this day for 2.5 years. Let's take a look at Obama. This is his president elect speech.
hello, Chicago.
Correct? So, high energy, positive expressions, facial expressions. He has a smile. He's looking around the room. He's not shying away from eye contact. He's looking around the room. He's not fixated in one position.
If impossible. But still wondrous.
Correct. So that is his executive presence. The initial stages of your speech, the first 5 to 10, you could also say 15 seconds, they set the tone of your speech. Okay, so keep this thing in mind. Moving forward, so these were some real world examples of executive presence, right? And by the way, if you're looking to elevate your executive presence and you'd like to be coached by me, you can check out the description. There's going to be a link that you can click and gain access to consulting me and some other things as well. So just check that out. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, right? My name is Moin Jagwani, and my goal with this channel is to help you become the best version of yourself, right? Don't forget to check out these videos. These are going to help you further elevate yourself and help you become a better version of yourself. And that's all from my end. Let me know down in the comment section below what you thought of this video. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.